Let's talk about something that is not too distant or theoretical, but immediate. Something that's already reshaping what it means to be alive. What does it mean to be human in the times of AI, in the times of artificial intelligence? Because this is the age of artificial intelligence. We know AI is everywhere now. It's in our homes, in our phones, in our cars. It guides us, informs us, entertains us, and even tells us how to live our lives. It knows our habits, our moods, our desires, sometimes better than we do. AI can write poetry, paint pictures, compose music, can be a teacher, a therapist, even a companion. It provides information, insights, and advice on a host of things, can be a better guide than most self-help gurus, Sadgurus and other godmen and conmen who toss out advice like so much chum to feed hungry mouths. It never gets tired, it never judges, never walks away. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the things we thought that made us human are no longer ours alone. AI can think, it can learn, it can create. So when machines begin to do everything we thought defined us, what's left? What really makes us human? Because for centuries we have told ourselves that our intelligence set us apart, that our ability to reason, to imagine, to create made us unique. But now the story is cracking. Because the machines we built to serve us have now started to mirror us and sometimes even surpass us. So where does that leave us? When intelligence is no longer a human monopoly, what remains of our identity? Maybe this is the moment to pause, to ask whether intelligence was ever the whole story. Maybe what makes us human was never the mind at all, but the heart. Because beyond the mind lies the sacred heart of humanity. AI can simulate emotion, but it doesn't feel. It can predict human behavior, but doesn't know what it means to ache or to long or to love. It doesn't look at a sunset and feel a sense of wonder. It doesn't cry at the sound of a song. It doesn't feel the tremor of loss or the miracle of forgiveness. That spark is what makes us human. This capacity to love, to forgive, to wonder, even to suffer. We've been trying to build gods out of code, but the divine was never in the code at all. It's in the pulse of the heart that can break and still choose to love again. This is a new call for humanity. So if AI can do almost everything better, we've got to ask ourselves, what is left for us to do? The answer, I think, is simple, beautifully simple. It's about making the world a better place, not through algorithms, but through compassion. Not through optimization, but through connection. We need to build better relationships with each other. We need to rediscover kindness, empathy, and the art of listening. We have spent so long teaching machines how to think. Maybe now it's time to teach ourselves how to feel. We need to connect with each other as humans, reach out and build bridges of understanding based on love and mutual respect. We need to put AI to use effectively. Yes, we must. And make time for ourselves to do things that define our humanity. That's the work of being human. That's our sacred task in the age of AI. We need to rethink our value systems. But before we can truly embrace the new world, we have to revise our value system. For too long we've been worshipping false gods, wealth, power, fame, dogma, things that crumble under the light of truth. Let us not surrender to the machine and let it intrude into our lives, but use it to make our lives comfortable. Although it can, let a machine not write a book. paint a masterpiece, compose a symphony, sing a song. Let what remains sacred remain so. AI can help us to let go of the hierarchies that no longer serve us, the leaders who lie to us, the systems that thrive on fear, the religions that divide us in the name of salvation. Now, AI has stripped away this illusion. It shows us truth, raw, unfiltered, if only we dare to look. Maybe it's time to stop fearing AI and start seeing it as a mirror, one that reflects not just what we are, but what we could become. If we approach it with awareness, AI can be a trusted companion, a friend who helps us see clearly, think deeply, and live truthfully. Consider this story about a family of four living in a perfectly intelligent home. Lights that turn on automatically, a fridge that orders food, a digital assistant that remembers everything. Life is smooth, predictable, efficient. Well, let's imagine one day when they realized they stopped talking. The father spoke more to his phone than to his wife. The children confided in AI tutors instead of each other. The home was alive with automation, but hollow of connection. Then let's say one evening the power goes out, the house goes dark, no Wi-Fi, no screens, no voices except their own. And in that silence, they will remember what it means to be a family, to look at each other, to speak, to listen. Maybe we need that darkness to remember the light within ourselves. Maybe this is where science and mysticism finally meet. Science gave us the tools. AI is one of those tools, perhaps the most powerful ever created. But mysticism reminds us, tools are never the destination. The destination is consciousness, awareness, love. As AI takes over the outer world, perhaps it's time to turn inward to explore the one realm no machine can reach. Because that's where the true evolution of humanity begins. It's true, it was human intelligence and ingenuity that gave birth to AI. We built these remarkable machines, shaped their minds, taught them to think, learn, and even create. But now that intelligence, our proudest possession, has found a new home, the digital realm. We must ask, what remains uniquely ours? What makes us truly human is not our intellect. I say that again, it is not our intellect, but our ability to feel, to love, to share, to grow, to awaken to higher levels of awareness. AI is not a threat to our humanity, but a mirror reflecting our next stage of evolution, a gentle nudge towards self-discovery. AI frees us from the clutter of survival, from the endless chase for control, achievement, and validation. So let's focus on what truly matters, to find our real selves, to grow in consciousness, to nurture compassion and understanding. If we use it wisely, it can help us transcend division, end the wars and conflicts that spring from ignorance and fear, and lead us towards a new way of being, one rooted in peace and love, and a deeper sense of oneness with all that is. So, what does it mean to be human in the age of AI? It means remembering what machines can never feel. The tenderness of love, the ache of loss, the joy of creation, and the awe of existence. In the end, it's not about being smarter, it's about being more human, more compassionate, more alive. AI may help us build the world of the future, but it's up to us to make the world worth living in. That's what it means to be human. That's what it means to walk the Wyrd way. And do walk with me as a companion to discover ourselves and our place in the universe, in this life and beyond. Thank you.